There it is.
Batman Arkham Knight. Woohoo!
Yeah.
We're here to fucking review it.
Stuffs.
Yeah. We're here to review the console versions.
The PC version still broke as fuck.
Anyway, I'll give the PC version 1 out of 10. Boom, we got that out of the way.
Yeah, 1 out of 10.
Actually, probably not even that.
0 out of 10 for PC because it got pulled from Steam.
Yeah.
Yeah, doesn't exist.
This game's out on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. We played it on PS4. This is the last Batman Arkham game. This is made by Rocksteady, who made Arkham City and
Arkham Asylum.
Yes. So, and this is a non-spoiler review. We aren't going to spoil anything. Don't even mention the one guy. Because he's not even in any trailers.
Oh,
yeah.
So,
nope. Don't do it.
So let's start with what do you guys think of this game's story without spoiling a damn thing?
I think honestly, I think the story's better than Arkham City, especially over the long period.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Arkham City. But the only problem that I had with the story is that the story gets really good, gets better, and it's like starts off from there, and it gets really good once you get to the end, and it's oh my god, like the last 10 minutes is like Arkham City. That story is pretty good until you get to the last 10 minutes, and then it's like boom, that story. Yeah. This is consistently a great story the whole way through, at least in my opinion.
There's a reason this game is rated M.
Yeah, it gets dark.
This is probably and I've read a bunch of Batman stories, and this is easily the darkest, most fucked up Batman story I have ever experienced.
Yeah, this is a very, very dark story, and it's good from the start.
Yeah.
Immediately, this game is good. There's a lot of mind-fuckery stuff that goes on. It's just like, whoa. I mean, it's just some really, really dark stuff, man. And Scarecrow is a fantastic villain.
Oh, yeah.
They really played him up in this game. And to me, I thought he was better than the Joker in Arkham City. I thought his threat was a lot.
Well, yeah.
Because with the Joker was always, until the very end, he was almost second rate. Because, I mean, Hugo Strange in Arkham City was like, we have to stop Protocol 10. And at that point, you don't know what it is. Whereas in this game, it's Scarecrow and the Arkham Knight, but it's Scarecrow the whole way through. And again, no spoiler, but he makes himself, you have to deal with him. Like, he makes you aware of how evil he is.
Yeah.
And it gets heavy at parts.
Like, the Joker, he really doesn't care about what he does. He doesn't care about destroying the city. His main focus is the Batman.
Yeah.
And getting the Batman to break his one rule. Which he kind of did. I mean, in a way he kind of did. And you see a lot of connotations and a lot of blowback from that throughout almost this entire story.
Yeah, there's references to that event, and like, I mean, it's this game takes place. What is it? It's either 6 or 9 months. Because
6 months after.
Because I heard dialogue in the game that said 9 months, but it's 6 months. If I'm not mistaken. Like, it's not that far off, and Gotham City is still recovering from that, and it's evident in like how you know, the balance of power is severely tipped. You know, because now one of the things with Arkham Origins was like, oh, it's Christmas. That's why there's nobody out on the streets and there's villains and everywhere, which didn't make sense. They justify it completely why there's nobody anywhere. So it's really cool.
Yeah. Arkham Knight is also a fantastic villain.
Absolutely.
Oh, he's a great. I think he's probably the best villain that the series has had in terms of being a direct adversary to Batman.
Yes.
Whereas like the Joker again and Hugo Strange are like in the background, whereas the Arkham Knight is a constant. He's there.
He's
the
almost
entire time.
taunting you the whole game.
Oh yeah, he basically is for much of the game. He's just, reminding you that he knows you better than anybody. And you can't do anything that's going to surprise him, and he's got your number and all that shit.
Yeah, this story is really, really solid. This is by far the best story that I've played this year. It is fantastic. What do you guys think of probably the biggest addition to this game? The Batmobile.
Gameplay-wise, I don't mind the Batmobile that much. I've gotten used to the controls, gameplay-wise. I've driven around with the Batmobile a lot because, some of the side missions, in order to find them, it's easier to find them, like, doing in the Batmobile. And there's cool things with the Batmobile, like the Riddler challenges and, chasing after the APCs and, some of the battles where you have to defend the bombs that are in the streets. Like, they're cool. It's just that there's a lot of Batmobile in this game. Almost too much.
There's that.
Actually, no, not almost. There's too much Batmobile.
There's almost that. There's almost a solid half hour to an hour worth of game where you're in the Batmobile the whole time, and that really just was pissing me the hell off because it's like I don't want to be in here anymore. I want to be out exploring the city.
Yeah.
Like the fucking tank battles that you have to be in the Batmobile for.
Yeah. The Batmobile, I like it from a puzzle-solving aspect. I think it's really cool. I thought it was very clever how they used the Batmobile. The combat is whatever to me. It's so repetitious. It's so it never changes no matter what upgrades you get. It never evolves.
Yeah.
It's in the combat, instead of evolving it in unique ways, like the combat when you're Batman, they evolve it by giving enemies different abilities against you.
Weapons.
There are different enemy types in the armor battles that show up, but they're nothing that you have to like.
But they're not distinct enough, and Rocksteady feels like they should be. They went the Destiny and Bungie route of let's just throw more at them.
Yeah,
let's not evolve it in a unique way. Let's just throw 50 tanks at them. Why not?
Yeah.
That shit I don't like. The controls when you're in battle mode are they're nice. They're well done.
Batmobile actually handles better in battle mode.
Oh,
yeah, I always drove around in battle mode. See, the controls are dog shit. And even I finished this game's story and I'm still not used to these controls when just driving around. Even if I switch the controls, I just feel awkward because I'm more used to the other ones, but I'm not used to them because they're atrocious. And the way this thing controls, it's so touchy, it's so just, it's fucky that I don't like
work.
It's just
good that most things, as long as it's not a full building, that like you don't get stopped by hitting a tree or something.
Yeah, you can just bash through shit. That's the only plus.
Well, the other and then I don't mind the controls of the Batmobile. Like I've gotten used to them at this point. I've almost beaten the game. Completely. But the only other thing that really pisses me off, like I'm okay with there being extra Batmobile shit in the story, but it's things like you have to be in the Batmobile to go through this next section. Like, in order to go into the GCPD lockup, you have to be in the Batmobile.
I know.
It's like, I could easily just walk in. And
why can't I go through the roof like Batman always does?
Or just a couple missions, it's like, oh yeah, you have to go into the underground parking garage. It's like, you're just making me do that so I have to be in the Batmobile.
Yeah, like some of the battles and just some of the Batmobile stuff feels like filler. And it's not. And it's not fun. And that's the biggest complaint I have with this game. I barely drove the Batmobile around the city. I always just fly around the city like old school Batman. I don't care if my destination is 2,000 meters away. I'm flying there. I don't care. Because one, I'll most likely discover some type of side mission along the way. And two, the game's gorgeous and I like looking at the city. And three, flying is 40,000 times better than driving there.
Oh yes, you also get there faster. I mean, you have to.
You probably will.
Yeah. Because if you want to go to between the 3 islands, you have to go across the bridge. Whereas flying, you can just go through the water.
I just tried to use the Batmobile as little as possible in this game. I just don't like it.
There were little things they could have done to improve the Batmobile, but I feel like, when they delayed this twice, they're like, oh shit, we're still not fully done with the Batmobile. Let's just kind of go with this and throw it in there.
Now that there's an emphasis on the Batmobile, and that's the big new thing in this game, and this is a common complaint about all of us, there's less boss battles.
I think there's only...
There's like one boss fight in this game.
One true
boss fight.
And that boss fight is phenomenal.
That is...
It's everything you want.
It's one of the best. Batman. It's one of the best. I mean, still my favorite boss battle in this game is still... in this series is still Deathstroke from
Arkham Origins.
That's my favorite boss fight in the entire series. This one's really good. It's different. I mean, it's not
different every time too.
But I mean, it's different as in like you have to it's not a fight. You have to sneak your way over stuff. It's cool, and
you have to think.
And but every other boss fight is in the goddamn Batmobile,
and you're
fighting
shoot this thing,
and you're fighting a fucking tank, or like, oh god.
In that one boss fight that's really good with Batman, I was like, dude, this is like one of the best boss fights in this whole franchise. My personal favorite's probably Mr. Freeze from Arkham City.
Yeah, that's a pretty good.
But Deathstroke's really good, and basically everyone from Arkham City and from Arkham Origins is really solid.
That's the thing.
I have not played Arkham Asylum yet. I'm just starting out.
There's really not a whole lot of boss fights in Asylum.
Yeah,
but it's just a little. It's just disappointing that this is the last game. We won't get any more great Batman boss fights anymore.
That was one thing, because there's two things, and they're really the only two things that I wish they would have carried over from Arkham Origins, because there are two things that I think Arkham Origins did great, which is one, the boss fights. Every boss fight in Arkham Origins is different than anything you could do in any other part of the game, and it's great. And then the other thing is, I don't personally like the line launcher. I like the remote claw from Arkham Origins, how you could shoot and then zip like items at people. I like that. I know it doesn't fit with the timeline. I would have liked it that when it came back.
I was surprised how much Arkham Origins didn't do that much different in the first place, but the whole detective stuff where you're piecing together stuff for film,
that was cool.
and recreating a crime scene. That stuff is incredible, and I'm glad. That's one thing that Arkham Origins did that I'm glad that Rocksteady kept in this game.
And Arkham City also did the same thing.
Well, not as prevalent. I mean, they took it off
with the video, but
it's so cool, man. I like that stuff. Let's just get any other complaints out of the way, because
really
I know we have very few, and the Batmobile and the boss fights are probably the two biggest. I think we all agreed on.
I can go without the boss fights. I mean, because there really weren't any in Asylum. And even in City, there really weren't all that many true boss fights, I feel.
I mean, there was Freeze, there was the Joker, there was Clayface,
and Bane. Bane and Solomon Grundy.
Bane and the Solomon Grundy. That's fine.
But Deadshot, I really can't call that a boss fight.
Yeah, that one was pretty bad. that was pretty bad.
There was just
Ra's al Ghul, that was a pretty interesting boss fight.
Yeah.
I mean, my only other complaint, and it's a small thing, is, and I think you said something about it too, that what made me think about it, is kind of like how the game is kind of easy in the beginning, at least combat-wise.
That's what I was going to get.
And then it's just like, boom! Here's brutes that have shields, knives, and electroshock gloves. And you have to pay attention to what they have, because otherwise you're going to get screwed over.
Yeah.
Combat
is... The learning curve for combat is steep in this game.
Well, at that point.
At that point. This game is so motherfucking easy for the first 80% of it. And then the last 20% of the story is what happened?
Where did this come from?
Yeah, where
here's the difficulty, and then here's the difficulty. It didn't, progress.
Yeah.
was just, it's too sudden. I don't mind that the game gets hard. It's just like,
it's out of
your
nowhere.
Game was so easy.
Like in Arkham Asylum, come on. And in Arkham City, they kind of like progress. Like Asylum, you start out with regular thugs, and then they started getting like the batons, and then they had the knives, and then they had
guns.
It's like they almost expect you to be a Batman master at this point because there's been 3 games already in the franchise at this point.
And I
they expect you to
understand
just,
that,
but it's still like
it's too. They throw too much at you at once on the learning curve. Yeah.
But then back on that, we can talk about combat then.
Yeah. What do you guys think of the combat?
I think combat.
Batman combat.
They added enough to not change it completely, but make it fresh. With like you can pick up weapons now.
Yeah.
Which sometimes helps when there's a large group and you have to fight brutes because the weapons damage brutes without having to stun them.
Cool.
You know, you can do environmental takedowns, which is cool again for there's a brute you want to get him out of the way or some guy who's just an asshole.
Yeah.
Boom, knock him into a thing, 1-hit KO. And then there's the Batmobile assisted takedowns and the tag team takedowns that you can do with like Nightwing, Robin, and Catwoman, which are all really cool.
Yeah.
And then, but I mean, other than that, it's at least from the combat, from standard combat, it's typical
free flow combat. But here's the thing: if it's not broken, don't fix it.
I mean, yeah, really.
I mean, I like the gadget upgrades that they can bring into combat, like all that stuff.
Yeah.
And actually, I love this upgrade system. Because it's almost like you build your Batman how you want.
Yeah.
Like if you want to be a gadget guy, you can do that. If you want to just beat the shit out of people, you can do that.
Yeah.
I think combat's good. There's not much to say beyond that. I mean, it's Batman combat that every fucking game has stolen and beat. This combat system has been beaten to death by this point. Because when Arkham Asylum came out, everybody's like, wow, that's the best way to do third-person action-oriented combat like that. Now every game in the world's trying to do it. So you almost feel a little fatigued by it.
Rocksteady does it best.
Yeah, but still Batman does it best.
Oh, absolutely.
It's fun to beat the shit out of a bunch of dudes and not even get hit. Your combos up to like 50. Mm-hmm. It's like, and some of the finishers are just brutal. Like, the last hit is always brutal, and it's always slowed down and is zoomed in and everything. I had this one where Batman picked him up, and he literally threw him down on his head. I had one where he picked a dude up, and then he put his knee, and he kind of bent down, and he cracked some dude's back on his knee. I'm like,
this is the most brutal Batman I've seen.
The ones in the without spoiling anything, the last like big fight towards the end of the game, I think. I'm trying not to. Is like Jesus Christ, these are brutal. Or like Red Hood. Yeah. Red Hood's really fun too.
Yeah, Red Hood is fun.
But then I think the other thing is the Predator stuff, which I think again all the stuff they added with the Predator stuff is awesome.
Like there's guys that can detect your detective mode, and they can lock onto you, and the drones, and they added things to use with the gadgets that might make those situations easier, and
My personal favorite thing that they added, well, there's 2 things, which is the fear takedowns, which are so nice for clearing out rooms.
Yes.
You basically, if you get the full upgrade, and you can get like 3 to 5 people and just take them out. Mm-hmm. And the other thing that I think is just great, I don't understand why it isn't in, is the fucking thing where you can go from the rafters, go through a vent, and automatically go down underneath the floor.
Yes.
That is perfect, because that was like the one thing that in the past games that would screw me over is like,
shit, to get down into a vent.
I want to get down so I can get into this guy, and it's like, well, shit, and then getting back up, it's like, it's awesome. Otherwise, and again, it's a Batman Predator system.
You are the Dark Knight.
My favorite section in this game is where you have to get 3 different targets. Not spoiling anything, but you have to get 3 different targets. You can go about the first 2, whichever way you want. So you can pick this one, you can pick that one, and then later, no matter what, the third one's the last one. So, and that just felt so old school Batman. Mm-hmm. It was amazing. And there was this one point where you can there's a dual Predator section with Robin.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Oh yeah.
Why is there not more of this in this game? It was the coolest goddamn thing. It's literally my favorite part of this whole game story.
Like you can,
right?
you can just you can send Robin or Batman to go after that. And you can do a double takedown on the big guys with the Gatling gun.
Amazing. Like that whole section there was just the best part.
I don't think there was enough dual combat in this game.
I can understand not making it like everywhere because then I can maybe see it because then you have to manage like a bunch of characters, which is not like a. I can understand making it in certain parts, but it'd be better. I agree that if it just happened
a little more often. Yeah.
Like maybe outside of specific missions.
Or hey, maybe once you beat the game, you can go through the city as some of these other characters.
Or like a button, like if you're inside and you're like, oh, you're not gonna have the Batmobile. Instead of having L1 be summon the Batmobile, you can summon an ally.
Yeah.
And then you can go through the fights with two people or,
Yeah, they made it sound like the whole character switching thing was going to be like GTA 5.
It was.
Which is not.
No.
Which, I guess it's good because, GTA 5 already did that. But, again, like you said, I just wish it was more.
Yeah. Another strong part of this game is the side content.
Oh,
there's a lot of side content, and it's really, really, really well done.
It's all
lots of cool stories. Lots of just great combat scenarios. And that, too, I love doing that stuff because that does lead into the... Whatever you do leads into the upgrade system, which I agree with Luke. The upgrade system is fucking amazing in this game. Definitely better than the last game.
There were some deep cuts in this game. Yeah. In terms of characters that they brought in for the side missions.
There's Fireflies come back. So, Deathstroke shows up at one point. Deacon Blackfire.
Yeah, that's a deep cut.
Like that's
Man-Bat, Professor Pig.
Yeah, those are Man-Bat and Professor Pig. Those are like the bottom of the barrel. Like they're at least they're not scraping. They stuck their whole arm in and pulled those guys out.
There's some deep cuts, and as a Batman fan, I appreciate that because there's a lot of nods to other stories.
Yeah,
like I think the serial killer Professor Pig is a reference to the Long Halloween.
Yeah, in a way. The whole game also. I think the whole game takes place on Halloween too, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
But.
So this is another. Origins kind of reference Batman Noel a little bit.
Yeah.
Even though Noel technically takes place farther in the Batman storyline.
I think this is its own different even this story I think you can probably kind of obviously tell it's even different than even in the animated series. Like it's not connected to that.
Well, a little bit, yeah.
But certain things that happen to certain characters in the backstory of this game is different than before. Again, not spoiling.
And but there's a lot of tips of the hat to the Batman stories that have come before, and that as someone who loves this character and loves this universe is phenomenally done by Rocksteady.
Yeah, I agree with that. Another strong point to this game is the city.
The world itself, yes.
Oh, wow.
Like the draw distance is just...
Yes!
That's like the best draw distance I've seen. Like you can basically see the entire city all the time. And it's just like...
In the amount of detail when you look. The texture quality is... When you get up close to certain textures, it's kind of like... Whatever. But it looks gorgeous from afar. And it's just... The amount of detail and care they took to recreate Arkham City. Like, it feels so alive and so real. And it's... Oh, man. It's one of the best parts of this game.
Gotham is almost its own character in this game. And I'm so immersed in the world that I've barely taken any screenshots of this game. Even though it's so gorgeous, I'm so immersed in it, I would forget about it.
I've taken like 50. Like, this game's too fucking gorgeous.
It's gorgeous, but I'm so immersed in the game.
But even the character models look really well done. Even when it's not like a cutscene and Batman's talking to Alfred or something. If you peel the camera around,
cool.
His lip syncing is perfect.
It's
just like
it's much better than Arkham Origins.
And it's and it's really the detail because you pull people and you see their face, which is different. That when that popped up, I was like, "Jeez, that's really good." Like at first, especially when because the only character you really have that much of a reference to early on is Oracle, of what her face looks like, and that at first when Alpha first popped up, it's like, is that a fucking like live video that they put in there? Like it took me a little bit to like, okay, it's still animation, but I'm like, Jesus, that looks good.
The engine they must have built for this game is a monster.
I mean, hell, the Batmobile is big enough that it wouldn't fit on a 360 disc. Like,
no, the Batmobile itself is bigger than Arkham City.
Yes.
No, Arkham Asylum. Sorry, and it's all of its environments.
And it's like, so that means this massive overall would do this. I mean, that's.
Like how they got this game running on PlayStation 4 with no problems at all. Like even you play like The Witcher 3, it's a little bit buggy here and there. But this game is so smooth. It's at 30 frames per second. And it feels like they literally were able to get it there and keep it there.
Which is why it amazes me that the PC is having so many problems. Unless the PC version is just so above and beyond the console.
It's a completely like a different studio.
Well, yeah.
So, I mean, it's a port, but it's just like it just wasn't.
It just wasn't optimized.
I mean, that's really what it is. I mean, these games. I've always thought of these games as console games anyway.
I mean, when the PC version's fixed, that's obviously going to be the best version of this game.
Yes.
But as of right now, the PS4 version is probably the best you can go because it's also at 1080p for the PS4 version. The Xbox One version is at 900.
Yeah. But I mean, the game was originally developed specifically for PlayStation 4.
Yeah.
I'm amazed it came over to the Xbox One because, as far as I know, they were marketing it as PlayStation exclusive.
It's just one of those marketing.
Later.
It's just one of those marketing things. It's going to come to both. It's just that they always push for one console or the other.
Well, I mean, at first when they were first developing it, it was PlayStation 4 only, which is why I switched from 360 over to PS4 when I upgraded.
I didn't know.
Because there was a couple. I mean, I read a couple articles in Game Informer about it, so I'll have to see if I can dig them up.
All right.
What do you think of the side stuff? Because you've done Red Hood, right?
I've done both.
Have you done both?
I've done both, and I've done the first.
That wonderful exclusive pre-order my game DLC.
I mean, it's fun.
It's fun, but it's like 20 minutes.
Honestly, I mean, the Red Hood is, I mean, in some ways, out of the whole game, probably my favorite part, just because he's just fun to play.
He's fun to play as, but there's not much you can do with him. It's just one of those things where you pre-order. They want to suck people into pre-order their game because you get this and you get that, and then the shit you get's not even really that good.
No.
It never is.
Yeah, I've only done the Harley Quinn, and I was like, this could have been so much cooler, but it's not.
The Scarecrow Nightmare missions are pretty neat.
I did the first one. The first one's cool. I only got 1 star.
Yeah.
I tried it earlier. I was like, oh.
And those are PlayStation 4 exclusive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I haven't played the Red Hood yet, but
you get guns, and again, you brutally, like your execution.
Well, you Red Hood.
Blowing people's heads off is fun. I was like, yep, all right. That's part of the reason why I liked it so much. I was like, yep. Just hit left trigger.
It's such
and you just mow.
Because it's so different from being Batman. Because Red Hood is not afraid to fucking light somebody up.
Yeah. So. That's not much else to talk about. I mean, they got Kevin Conroy.
Kevin Conroy's Batman.
And then, I mean, I forget.
The Joker.
No. I forget who voices Scarecrow. I used to know off the top of my head because it's a more well-known guy. But I mean,
it's not
the voice acting for that is awesome for Scarecrow.
Ben Affleck voiced Arkham Knight. I'm just kidding. That's not true.
Yeah.
Feels like.
I mean, but I feel like the voice acting in this game is awesome.
Yeah.
That's one of the things.
So well done.
That's all I have to say about that. I mean, that's one of the things.
Nolan North, I think, came back as a Penguin.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, and Two-Face.
Troy Baker.
Troy Baker did Two-Face. Yeah.
So who the fuck is Scarecrow? Because I thought Troy Baker might be Scarecrow.
He might have. I don't remember. But yeah, that's my favorite performance. Just because, again, you were saying earlier, Scarecrow is just a great one.
Yeah.
The design is awesome. I like his claw that he has with the fear toxins.
Like some of the levels are just phenomenal.
Yeah.
When you're Batman. One other thing that I'm just going to say is kind of a bullshit thing. Why do I have to get 100% in this entire fucking game to see the real fucking ending? It makes no sense. I completely am all for doing something special for someone that gets everything. All 243 Riddler trophies, but the true ending? No. That's just dumb to me. That, literally, there's no benefit to it at all.
Oh, is it? 100% like everything? 100%. I thought that just meant with all the side quest stuff.
No. 100%. You have to do all the side quest stuff, so Two-Face, Penguin, all that stuff.
I'm almost done all that.
You have to do all Riddler's, missions, and then you have to find all 243 Riddler trophies as well. 100% everything in this entire video game.
Not counting the AR challenges, right?
No.
No.
But even those Riddler trophies that are like in mission, you have to go back and get them. If you didn't mark them on your map, have fun finding them.
Fuck.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's
it's pretty dumb.
I mean, one of the other things that is cool, because that made me think of it really quickly, is if you beat the main story before you beat all the side stuff, the dialogue changes.
Yeah,
which is pretty cool. Yeah. The only ones that I think of, definitely off the top of my head, that happens with is, I know for a fact, at the end of the Riddler thing, it's different if you wait until after you beat the main story to do Riddler. It's different, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. It could be the same.
I just don't think it's very wise and very fair that Rocksteady did that, because 98% of the people that beat this game are not going to go and find everything.
Kingdom Hearts did it.
And so you have fans that have been invested in this franchise since the very beginning, that maybe they don't have time to find all this shit.
Hey, Kingdom Hearts has done it twice.
But with Kingdom Hearts, it's not the ending. It's just a bonus thing to hint at the next game. Like, you can get away without not looking at that. You can be fine. Yeah. This, I get what you're saying.
It's the end of the franchise.
Yeah. You're robbing people of fine stuff. So now, it's a good thing I didn't, because I only have like 4 side mission stuff left. It's a good thing I didn't activate the ending of the game yet.
There's 3 endings to this game.
Yeah. So there's one if you don't beat all the side stuff. There's one if you beat all the side stuff, and there's one if you do everything. And so, yeah, I'm glad I didn't.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna beat all the side stuff, and then I'm gonna go to YouTube.
Even then,
I don't have time. I don't have time nor the desire to find all that shit.
Even then, I did that with a lot of the firefighters and some of the other stuff. I was like, the stuff that like isn't like that doesn't just pop up on the map. I was like, I want to just tell me what the location. You have to tell me how to do things when I get there. Just tell me what the location is, and I'll worry about it.
Yeah.
So that's what I did with like the.
I mean, that's what my dad did with Arkham City and all the Riddler trophies and shit like that.
Oh yeah, because I mean, I if you can find them all by yourself, no problem.
Kudos to you. Yeah. But some of these are like extremely well hidden. And I mean, like, extremely well. Unless you're paying attention, you're going to walk right by them.
Yeah.
So.
Anything else?
No, that should be it, I think. It's a good game.
Yeah.
Really good
I mean, this was a phenomenal game, except for the Batmobile.
Better than Arkham City?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm going to put it out there.
I'll say that.
I think so.
I'm going to say no.
The
Batmobile holds this game back to me. The difficulty curve holds this game back to me as well. At the end.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that. It's just, I mean,
it's my favorite Batman story. It's not my favorite Batman game.
Okay.
I can see that.
All right.
So, of course, you guys give this game.
I would give this game a 9.5 out of 10. I love this game. Again, as I said, it's only been 10 days since the game came out, and I have like 80% of the game done already. So it's like, I love this game. I've done nothing but play this game since it came out. So 9.5.
Yeah, I'll go with Keith. 9.5 out of 10. I mean, I love Batman. I love this world. And like we've been saying, the Batmobile is really the only thing that kept this from getting a 10 in my opinion. So.
Give this game a 9 out of 10. It's a solid fucking game. It's probably my second favorite game this year for sure. Just some things hold it back in my opinion, but I do recommend playing it. It's one of the best games you'll be playing this year for sure.
Oh,
easily. So, if you can put down The Witcher.
More like I mean, Syndicates can be like
or Halo 5.
Oh, Halo 5 could possibly give it a run for its money.
Battlefront.
That story's gonna be fucking amazing.
I can't wait for it.
Yeah.
Other dumb video games are coming
When is
out.
Visuals Star Wars coming out? Probably not for a while.
I mean, they haven't really said anything. They basically just said, hey,
We're working on a
exists.
Star Wars game. Yeah.
So, yeah, cool.
All right.
Thanks for watching.
Bye.